You slip into life from the comfort of your mother's body, born live into the dense, warm, humid air of the Amazon. Your mom leaves you the moment she pushes you out, not seeing the difference between giving birth and pooping. You and your siblings scatter in all directions, and the jungle doesn't care that you're new here. He was a great sibling anyway. At the moment, you're only a couple of feet long, and honestly, kinda cute. Jaguars, caimans, and even large birds would find a meal like you irresistible, but you know how to disappear. In the river, you blend in with the brown, murky current, slipping unnoticed beneath the surface. It feels almost fun, but playing in the water makes you hungry, so it's time to get serious. Your senses, though still developing, are already sharp enough to pick up movement in the water. You notice a small fish darting by, a perfect target. You freeze, letting the current carry you, getting closer and closer. Your jaws clamp down with shocking speed, and your first kill is yours. It's a tiny victory, but a victory nonetheless, the first of many. You want to grow fast. Out here, survival is all about getting big, strong, and sneaky. Speaking of sneaky, have you noticed your skin yet? Look at that, a beautifully patterned mix of green and brown, nature's perfect camouflage. Whether you're slinking through the murky water or blending into the dense underbrush, no one can see you coming. You're practically invisible. That's your first real advantage in this wild place. It's not much now, but it'll come in handy once you're ready to hunt something a little more challenging. For now, though, you stick to the basics. You spend your days slithering through the rivers and swamps, mostly keeping to the water where you feel safe. Your eyes and nostrils stay just above the surface as you gently slide through, waiting for an unsuspecting snack to wander a little too close. As you rest just below the surface, you spot a tasty target, a small rodent, foolish enough to venture right up to the water's edge. You wait, patiently, and then you strike with lightning speed, wrapping your coils around it, squeezing tight until it's over. Dinner served. Not bad. You've entered the juvenile phase of your life and things are starting to get interesting. You're bigger now, faster and stronger. And your prey? Well, you've moved up in the world. Small frogs and fish just don't cut it anymore. Now you've got your eyes on something more substantial, like capybaras. Yeah, the world's largest rodents on your menu now. Whew, that was close. But don't get cocky just yet. You're still not the biggest predator out here. There are jaguars, caimans, and other anacondas that would love to make a meal out of you if they get the chance. You gotta stay sharp and use your camouflage to your advantage. Oh wait, it's a caiman basking on the riverbank. It's not huge, probably a juvenile like you, but it's still a risky move. You think about it for a moment, weighing your options. Should you go for it? Could be your first big test as a hunter. Why not? You slink into the water, sliding gently toward the caiman with the grace of a shadow. Your muscles coil, ready to strike, and it wasn't as tough as I thought. That's your first taste of success as a true predator, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Not every day's a win. There are days when your prey outsmarts you, like that one time you tried to take down a capybara but ended up being dragged halfway across the river before it managed to escape. Yeah, that wasn't your finest moment, but don't worry, no one saw that. The good news is you're still growing, and with every meal you get a little bigger, a little stronger, and a little wiser. By the time you're fully into your juvenile phase, the jungle doesn't feel quite as intimidating anymore. Sure, there are still big predators out there, but you're climbing the food chain, and fast. As the months roll by, you become more and more comfortable in your environment. You've perfected the art of hiding in plain sight, waiting for hours, maybe days, or weeks. Finally. A group of capybaras grazing near the water's edge. You sink slowly beneath the surface, your eyes barely visible as you approach. You wait, your muscles tense, and then... What? Where did this jerk pop up from? Do you think he'd mind if you asked for just a small bite to curb your hunger? No, maybe that's not such a good idea. Let's get out of here. You continue to refine your skills, learning more about your environment and your place in it. You've mastered the art of stealth, using your patterned skin to blend seamlessly into the jungle around you. You've developed a keen sense of smell, allowing you to track prey even through the thickest underbrush. And your body? Pure muscle. At this point, you're no longer just a juvenile anaconda. You're approaching adulthood. You've reached a size that commands respect, or at least some healthy fear from most of the creatures in this territory. At over 15 feet long and still growing, you're a true force to be reckoned with. No more small-time snacks for you. You've graduated to bigger prey. And by bigger, we're talking deer, wild pigs, and even the occasional caiman that dares to cross your path. As you grow, the jungle becomes more crowded, and you need a place to call your own. It's time to search for a territory, a safe space where you can hunt, rest, and hunt. You slither through the dense jungle, exploring every corner, crossing rivers, climbing over fallen logs, and navigating the thick underbrush. You need to find a secluded area, somewhere near water, with plenty of prey but far from other predators. After days of searching, you find the perfect spot, a quiet stretch of river hidden beneath a canopy of trees. The perfect territory. You mark the area with your scent, claiming it as your own. This is where you'll live out the next chapter of your life. And speaking of the next chapter, it's time for something new. Mating. It's not just about survival anymore, now it's about passing on your genes. As mating season arrives, you begin to pick up the scent of a potential mate nearby. You follow the trail, slithering through the thick jungle and dense swamp until you find another anaconda, a female. What a beauty. The courtship begins. It's a slow, winding dance as the two of you coil around each other. For hours, you move together in a mesmerizing spiral until finally the deed is done. The female will carry out your legacy. Several months later, as a female, you find a secluded area to give birth. You don't lay eggs like many other snakes. Instead, you give birth to live young. Between 20 to 40 baby anacondas will enter the world, much like you did years ago. But your job's done. You leave, never to see the offspring, knowing that most of them won't survive their first year. Honestly, there's no real difference between giving birth and pooping for an anaconda. In both cases, you're just pushing something out and leaving it behind. Anyway, let's get back to some fun now. As you grow older and bigger, your body starts to feel the wear and tear of years spent hunting and surviving. You're still strong, there's no doubt about that, but you're not as fast as you once were. The youthful energy that once fueled your every hunt is starting to fade, and you find yourself needing to be a little more strategic with your moves. As you lie submerged in the cool waters of a river, you sense something moving nearby. It's a capybara, casually grazing at the water's edge. Normally, you wouldn't bother with something as small as a capybara anymore, but today you're feeling a little nostalgic. After all, it's been a while since you last took one down, and there's something satisfying about going back to where it all started. You wait, watching, your body completely still beneath the water's surface. The capybara inches closer, oblivious to the danger lurking just beneath its feet. And then, in a flash, you strike. Your coils wrap around the capybara in an instant, and within moments, it's over. You've still got it. But as you swallow your meal, you can't help but notice that it's not quite as satisfying as it used to be. Sure, the thrill of the hunt is still there, but something's changed. You've grown, not just physically, but mentally. One day, as you stalk a young deer near the water's edge, you sense that something's different. Your muscles coil, ready to strike, but just as you lunge, something goes wrong. The deer senses you at the last second and bolts. You try to chase, but your body doesn't move as quickly as it used to. You miss. The deer escapes. It's the first failed hunt in a long time, but something feels different this time. You feel the exhaustion deep in your muscles, the weight of the years finally catching up with you. You slither back to the water, but you know that it won't get easier from here. In reality, most anacondas don't die in battle. They simply grow too slow and too tired. Eventually, the jungle takes them back.